So, month one is a tough one, education and skills. Chris, let's talk about not only the things that they're gonna be learning in the first months of starting the wholesaling business, let's talk about some of the fun stuff, some of the challenges they're gonna face, how they're gonna get crazy phone calls, they're gonna have people curse them out, say don't send me mailers. So if you're weak-hearted, man, and you don't wanna work hard, this isn't the business for you. I'll just keep making the money with Chris. I'm straight. But if you have a real goal, get to the real estate business and what we call the fast money part of real estate, you will enjoy this part. Let's talk about the education and skills and some of the roadblocks that you face in the first month.
Yeah, it's going to be a learning curve for you guys getting started because you're not used to being cursed out on the phone.
We say that like it happens every call. It happens from time to time.
At least 1 out of 8, 1 out of 10 calls, you're going to get some disgruntled
old person.
Yes, old people that don't understand. You're going to be uncomfortable at your first appointment. Go and look at that first house that's actually motivated. You don't really know what you're doing, but it's okay because you're putting in the reps, and that's how you're building skills, through reps.
And I'll say another thing on that, man. When you're going to that first house and that second house, especially when you have a couple houses to see in a month, for me, I always felt alive. I always felt like I was on a mission, on a journey. I was kind of excited, feeling like I was in my own hero's journey in a movie. Let's say I was about to walk in this mobile home or in this single family home. A lot of times these situations where you have a distressed seller, you have situations where you might walk into something and you're like, man, this is a mess. And it's like you're automatically in that movie scene. And you have to find a way to not only navigate through being comfortable in this new environment, but also you have to navigate through the personal interactions between you and the individual that has found themselves in a stressed position. So the way I always look at it when I go in is if I can be there for them and listen and pull. So I'm not outflowing as much as I'm trying to allow them to be comfortable, put their guard down, tell me everything that I need to know about this project or this home or this property to help them through whatever they're going to. Because again, remember, if you're sitting at a kitchen table with somebody that is a distressed seller, they're not only dealing with you, they're dealing with whatever it is in their life that put them in that situation. So I'm always trying to work with them almost as a consultant or a person that they can confide in to not only help them through this situation, but to solve for the situation. And for every individual that sells, that's going to be different. For example, maybe somebody got divorced. You have to help them go through that a certain way. Maybe somebody is moving because they got another job. You can help them with that in a certain way. So for you to get all the information you can by building rapport and having the education of the numbers, understanding the comps, understanding the construction costs, which are things that we're going to teach you over time here as we work together on this YouTube channel or even in the Allies course. You're going to have those tools in your back pocket to understand not only the numbers, but how to get on their level in a way that you two can work together and you become the person that they trust to help them through the process and get them to the other side. A lot of times it's not about what the comps are running for or what the house down the street sold for. It's about what they need in their particular situation that you're solving for to help them move forward without having to go through things like bankruptcy, leaving a house that is gonna not be in good condition if somebody's not occupying it. It's those types of things that you're solving for, and the skills that you need are not only mathematical, but interpersonal. And so in the first month, it's really important to take all this information in and really understand that. So when it comes time to show up at that house, you can sit there with them and be the one person that's listening and helping when they're in their time of need. And that makes it a win-win. That's where you're actually adding the value. And that's when deals get done. You're adding value for not only them, but there's value in the deal for you. And collaboratively, you're coming together to solve the problem that works for both of you. So when you can get that done, that's when deals really start happening. And the education is not only going to give you the tools you need to do that, but the creativity to structure the deal for solving their problem. I personally believe that the second month or the pipeline building phase is one of the most important cornerstones of any business, because it doesn't matter what you're doing. Really what is happening is you're connecting buyers and sellers together through adding value to both sides, either through education or reaching out or being able to structure these deals. So you being able to build these pipelines up over time, you're planting these seeds. And right now, when you're in this stage of building the pipeline, back to the farming reference, that's when you're starting to sprout and see a little bit of that plant start to come out of the ground. We haven't bared fruit quite yet, but you're starting to make the progress and you're watering that thing and watering it and it's starting to grow. And it's not long after that pipeline starts to get some traction that you're going to start to see fruit begin to bear. So it's very, very important to remember this pipeline building phase phase is the beginning of you being able to get to bearing fruit, getting to the closing table, and getting the results that you ultimately need in this process. So in month 4 to 5, it's about to get go time, man. That plant that's coming out the ground, you're about to start bearing fruit. And that's generally around, on average, when the first deal actually happens. And this is really important. And this is the whole premise of the entire video, is that a lot of people think month 1 or month 2 that close is gonna happen. But what's really gonna happen is you're building up all of this momentum, and then bam, that first deal happens. And there's 2 things that happen when you get to this phase. Number 1, you do that first deal, you realize what's possible. I'll never forget. I think I was probably 26, the first time I flipped a house. And I remember sitting at the closing table and being, this is real. I can do this. And by the way, I can do it again. And I'm making 27,000 and change. And I was like, I understand this, and nobody can ever take this knowledge away from me. And what's funny that comes right behind that is that compounding effect from that previous 3 months. Because once that first one clicks, you have a personal moment. I had a personal moment when I did my first deal. I was young and I'd made a big chunk of money on a real estate deal. And then the wave of what came behind it was all the residual seeds I had planted. And so it was like 1, and then 2, 3 happened really quick. So just speak to that in that 4th month to 5th month area, that first deal, and kind of the tidal wave of momentum that you had built behind it. So somewhere around month 6, month 7, you get into this just massive power flow where you've built so much in the list that you're building on both sides, and your systems are clicking. You've done enough deals. You have the flow. You know where you can give, you know where you can take, and you get into this place where you're in a power position and it's flowing to you in a way that just starts to stack up. And then it's just systematized ways to make money. Now you're not surprised you're at the closing table. Now you're used to talking to the lawyers at the title company. You're used to talking to your guys that are going to take these houses on for you and probably flip them or whatever they want to do. And you're used to dealing with certain avatars of sellers, because to be quite honest with you, the time that I built rapport with that old man, I have 4 more old men just like him, and I knew just how to handle them. So my flow was there. I hit that flow state. And so not only are you in flow state personally, but the business is in flow state because you've created so much traction that it's all coming to you because people know about you, they trust you, you're starting to build a track record, and you're in the environment that really sets you up to create some speed and really get some massive, massive progress going all in one direction. That momentum doubles and triples and starts to compound. Guys, I've often told you that some of the most powerful, driven, and successful people in the world are people that are titans of their industry that you'll never meet because they'll never have a YouTube channel, an Instagram, or anything in line with what would be an influencer. These are real titans of industry, real leaders, and I've spoke about how you have to find those people as you go into different industries. But we've decided to take it to a whole nother level. Chris and I have 37 years combined experience in the field, whether it was from his mechanic shop, my construction company, or together the real estate people that we've met, the titans of industry that will never have a social media account. We're bringing them to you to learn from real business people in real time. If you're interested, click the link below.